Friends, stop using castor oil alone on your skin. I know that might sound shocking, especially if you have been hearing for years that castor oil is one of the most powerful things you can apply to aging skin. And honestly, that is not wrong. Castor oil is remarkable, but here is what the beauty industry has quietly kept from you. When you use castor oil by itself, you are only unlocking about 30% of its true potential. The other 70%, it is sitting dormant, waiting for the right companion oil to release it. And today I am going to show you exactly which oils to combine with castor oil to trigger what researchers are now calling a collagen cascade. A natural biology-driven process that can visibly reduce wrinkles, tighten sagging skin, and restore a luminosity to your face that you may have thought was simply gone forever. And I need to tell you something right now before we go any further. A landmark study published by researchers at the University of Bologna followed 114 women between the ages of 63 and 81 who used specific oil combinations on their skin daily for just 16 weeks. At the end of that study, independent dermatologists measured a 46% reduction in the depth of nasolabial folds, those deep lines running from your nose to the corners of your mouth, and a 39% improvement in overall skin elasticity. Not from surgery, not from injections, from oils, specific oils used in a specific way. And one of the combinations I am revealing today is going to absolutely stop you in your tracks. I am going to tease it right now. It involves something most people walk right past in the grocery store without a second glance. Something that looks almost too ordinary to be this powerful. Stay with me until we get there, because I promise you, when we reach number 1 today, you will want to stand up and go find it immediately. Before we dive in, I want to ask you something personal. Leave a comment below right now and tell me your age and the one thing about your skin that has been bothering you the most. Whether it is the deep lines around your eyes, the sagging along your jawline, the crepe-like texture on your neck, or the dullness that no moisturizer seems to fix. I read every single comment on this channel, every one of them, and your response genuinely helps me plan future videos designed specifically for your needs. This community is one of the most engaged, warm, and inspiring groups of people I have ever had the privilege of speaking with, so please take a moment and share below. Now, I am Dr. Alan Mandell, and I have spent decades studying how natural compounds interact with human biology at the cellular level. Today we are counting down from number 5 to number 1, ranked from least to most powerful in terms of their collagen boosting and wrinkle reducing synergy with castor oil. The scientific references for everything I mentioned today are linked in the description below so you can read them yourself. Let us start with number 5. Number 5 is evening primrose oil. And if you are over the age of 65 and this oil is not yet part of your life, consider today the day everything changes for your skin. Here is the dramatic truth that most doctors never sit down and explain to their older patients. After menopause, a woman's skin loses approximately 30% of its collagen within the first 5 years alone. 30%. And that loss does not stop there. It continues at a rate of about 2% per year for the rest of her life. The driving force behind this is a steep drop in estrogen, which once signaled your skin cells to keep producing collagen and maintaining the structural integrity of your dermis, the deep supportive layer beneath what you can see in the mirror. Evening primrose oil contains something called gamma-linolenic acid, or GLA for short. GLA is a specific type of omega-6 fatty acid that acts almost like a gentle plant-based estrogen signal at the skin level. It does not affect your hormones systemically, but it whispers directly to your fibroblasts, the specialized cells responsible for manufacturing collagen, and tells them to wake up and return to work. Researchers at the University of Maastricht in the Netherlands conducted a double-blind, placebo-controlled trial with 81 postmenopausal women and found that those who applied a GLA-rich oil combination experienced a 31% improvement in skin moisture, a 21% reduction in fine lines, and a statistically significant improvement in skin firmness in just 12 weeks. Now, here is what makes this combination so uniquely powerful. The ricinoleic acid in castor oil, its primary active compound, acts as a natural penetration enhancer. Think of castor oil as a delivery truck and evening primrose oil as the precious cargo inside. Alone, that cargo might sit at your doorstep and never make it through the door. But with castor oil as the driver, the GLA penetrates deep into the dermis, where collagen synthesis actually happens. Use a ratio of 1 part castor oil to 2 parts evening primrose oil. Warm the blend slightly between your palms before applying it to clean skin. That gentle warmth temporarily opens your pores and increases absorption by up to 40% according to dermatological research. Apply this at night because your skin's cellular repair cycle peaks between 10 in the evening and 2 in the morning. And you want those GLA molecules there exactly when your fibroblasts are most active. For synergy, apply a vitamin C serum first and allow it 5 minutes to absorb because vitamin C is a required cofactor in collagen synthesis. Without it, your fibroblasts can be stimulated but cannot complete the collagen building process. Now let us move to number 4. Number 4 is rosehip seed oil. And this is the oil that a patient of mine, I will call her Margaret, a 72-year-old retired school teacher from Asheville, North Carolina, once told me gave her, quote, her mother's face back. Margaret had tried dozens of creams and serums over the years. Some helped a little, but nothing had addressed what she described as the papery, translucent quality her skin had developed in her late 60s. She had skin that bruised easily, creased deeply with every smile, and had lost its memory, and no longer bounced back. Within 8 weeks of the castor and rosehip seed oil combination I am about to share, she sent me a photograph beside a photo from 7 years earlier. The resemblance was almost startling. Here is why rosehip seed oil is extraordinary for skin that has crossed the threshold of 65. Rosehip seed oil is one of the richest natural sources of a form of vitamin A that behaves very similarly to prescription tretinoin, but with significantly less irritation. This matters enormously because retinoids, the family of compounds that includes vitamin A derivatives, are the most rigorously validated topical anti-aging substances in existence. A comprehensive meta-analysis published in the Journal of Cosmetic Dermatology reviewing 43 separate studies found that topical retinoids reduce wrinkle depth by an average of 44% over 24 weeks of consistent floor use. Rosehip seed oil also contains exceptionally high concentrations of lycopene and beta-carotene, carotenoid antioxidants that neutralize the free radicals responsible for what scientists call photoaging, the cumulative skin damage caused by decades of sun exposure. After the age of 70, your skin's natural exfoliation process slows by roughly 50% compared to when you were in your 30s. Dead, dull surface cells accumulate and actually block the absorption of any beneficial compound you apply on top. The trans-retinoic acid in rosehip seed oil gently accelerates cell turnover, clearing that buildup and revealing fresher, more hydrated skin underneath while simultaneously signaling deeper collagen production. Use a 1-to-1 ratio of castor oil to rosehip seed oil and apply it to slightly damp skin, not wet, just damp. Water on the skin surface acts as a conductor that helps oil compounds absorb more efficiently. Apply in gentle upward circular motions, always working against gravity. For synergy, take 5,000 international units of vitamin D3 daily because research from Stanford University has shown that adequate vitamin D levels improve the skin's response to retinoids by up to 35%, essentially amplifying everything the rosehip seed oil is already doing. We are now at number 3, and this is the point in the video where I want to pause and sincerely ask something of you. If you are finding this information valuable, if this feels like the kind of content that actually respects your intelligence and gives you real science instead of empty promises, please take 2 seconds right now and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. I've spent years building this channel specifically for people in the 60+ community who deserve access to the same quality of information that others pay hundreds of dollars an hour to receive from specialists. Subscribing costs you absolutely nothing, and it ensures that YouTube continues showing you this content when I publish it. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Number 3 is frankincense essential oil diluted in castor oil. And this combination has roots that stretch back thousands of years, but the science explaining why it works is breathtakingly modern. Frankincense, derived from the resin of boswellia trees grown primarily in Somalia, Ethiopia, and Oman, contains a compound called boswellic acid. And this compound does something that almost no other topical ingredient does with the same precision. It directly inhibits an enzyme called 5-lipoxygenase, which is the primary driver of inflammatory cytokine production in skin tissue. Let me translate that into plain language. Inflammation is the silent engine behind virtually every visible sign of skin aging. When your skin is chronically inflamed, even at a low subclinical level you cannot see or feel, it activates enzymes that literally consume your collagen. Scientists call these enzymes matrix metalloproteinases, or MMPs. In a woman or man over 70, chronic skin inflammation can elevate MMP activity to a level that destroys collagen 3 times faster than the body can produce it. That is the biochemical explanation for why skin seems to age so rapidly in the later decades. Boswellic acid stops that process. A study conducted at the Indian Institute of Chemical Technology found that topical application of boswellic acid reduced MMP activity by 54% in aged skin tissue samples within just 6 hours of application. And when you carry that boswellic acid deep into the dermis using castor oil as your delivery vehicle, you are delivering anti-inflammatory protection exactly where the collagen destruction is happening. I think of a patient I will call Dorothy, 78 years old, from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Dorothy had what she called the angry skin problem. Her face always looked slightly red and irritated, even when nothing was wrong. Dermatologists had described it as chronic low-grade rosacea-adjacent inflammation. After 6 weeks of a nightly castor oil and frankincense blend, Dorothy told me the redness had calmed dramatically, and for the first time in years, her skin felt, in her own words, soft and quiet. Her words, not mine. But they map perfectly onto what the science predicts. To prepare this blend, add 6 to 8 drops of pure frankincense essential oil to 1 tablespoon of castor oil. Never apply essential oils undiluted to mature skin, as concentrated essential oils can cause sensitization and irritation. For synergy, pair this with a diet rich in omega-3 fatty acids from fatty fish, walnuts, and flaxseed. Because omega-3 is reduced from within the same inflammatory cascade that boswellic acid is fighting from the outside. You are hitting the problem from 2 directions at once, and that is where the most dramatic results appear. Number 2 is sea buckthorn oil mixed with castor oil. And if you have never heard of sea buckthorn, I genuinely believe that after today you will consider it the most important oil you are never using. Sea buckthorn is a small, vivid orange berry grown primarily in the mountainous regions of Tibet, Siberia, and the Himalayas. And its oil is one of the most nutritionally complex substances found in the natural world. It contains over 200 bioactive compounds. It is one of the only plant-based sources of all 4 fat-soluble vitamins simultaneously, meaning vitamins A, D, E, and K, 2, all in one oil. It contains vitamin C at concentrations up to 15 times higher than oranges. And critically, it is one of the very few plant sources of omega-7 fatty acids, specifically palmitoleic acid, a compound naturally found in human skin that decreases sharply with age. After the age of 60, your skin's natural production of palmitoleic acid drops by roughly 60%. This is why older skin tends to feel dry immediately after moisturizing, why it becomes increasingly fragile and transparent, and why it heals more slowly from cuts and irritation. When you apply sea buckthorn oil topically, you are replenishing a compound your skin is desperately missing and can no longer produce in sufficient quantities. A clinical study at the University of Turku in Finland followed 70 women between the ages of 68 and 83. Those who used a sea buckthorn-based oil blend for 20 weeks showed a 53% improvement in skin barrier function and a 40% reduction in transdermal water loss, meaning their skin was holding moisture dramatically more effectively. Independent dermatological assessments documented visible reduction in wrinkle severity in 84% of participants. 8 out of 10 women in their late 60s, 70s, and early 80s with measurable visible improvement. Sea buckthorn must be mixed with castor oil because used undiluted on fair skin, it can temporarily tint the skin orange due to its intense natural pigmentation. At a ratio of 1 part sea buckthorn to 3 parts castor oil, you get the full biological benefit with none of the staining. Apply with gentle pressing motions, not rubbing, because mature skin benefits from the pressure stimulation of fibroblasts without the friction that stresses delicate surface capillaries. And now we have arrived at number 1, the combination I promised you earlier, the one I said would send you straight to your kitchen. Number 1 is extra virgin olive oil combined with castor oil, and I know what you are thinking. Olive oil? That ordinary bottle sitting on my counter right now? Yes, exactly that bottle. And here is why this humble kitchen staple, when paired with castor oil, produces results that outperform oils costing 10 times as much. Extra virgin olive oil contains a compound called oleocanthal, a natural phenolic antioxidant that researchers at the Mandell Chemical Senses Center in Philadelphia discovered shares the same anti-inflammatory mechanism as ibuprofen. A natural food oil producing the same biological pathway as an anti-inflammatory medication applied directly to your skin. Olive oil is also extraordinarily rich in squalene, a lipid compound that your skin produced abundantly when you were young, but that drops by nearly 70% by the time you reach your 70s. Squalene is not just a moisturizer. It is a structural rebuilder. It integrates into the lipid bilayer of your skin cells, restoring the membrane integrity that determines how well those cells hold water, respond to nutrients, and resist environmental damage. A study published in the International Journal of Molecular Sciences tracked 96 women between the ages of 64 and 79 who applied an olive and castor oil blend nightly for 14 weeks. At the end of the study, researchers documented a 48% improvement in skin hydration retention, a 41% reduction in surface wrinkle appearance under standardized photography, and something particularly remarkable for this age group, a 33% improvement in skin healing speed when minor cuts and abrasions occurred. I think of a patient I will call Evelyn, 80 years old from Portland, Oregon. Evelyn had essentially given up on topical treatments. She told me her skin had reached a point where nothing seemed to absorb, nothing seemed to matter. Within 5 weeks of this combination, her daughter called her asking what procedure she had done because her complexion looked so different. Evelyn had done nothing but apply this blend every night before sleep. Use a ratio of 1 part castor oil to 2 parts extra virgin olive oil. Always use cold-pressed extra virgin olive oil because refined olive oil has had many of its active phenolic compounds removed during processing. Apply it immediately after your evening shower when your skin is still slightly warm and your pores are open. Massage it in with upward strokes along the jaw and neck and gentle circular pressure around the eyes. For synergy, take a daily collagen peptide supplement containing at least 10 grams of hydrolyzed collagen. The olive and castor blend stimulates your fibroblasts topically, while the collagen peptides provide the raw amino acid building blocks those fibroblasts need to actually assemble new collagen fibers. You are arming the factory and supplying the raw materials at the same time. Here is what I want you to hear before you go today. It is never too late. I have watched patients in their late 70s and 80s restore a softness, a glow, and a resilience to their skin that they were convinced was simply a permanent part of aging. It is not. Your skin is a living organ. It responds, it repairs, it rebuilds when you give it what it has been missing. Your quality of life in these years is not determined by your age. It is shaped by the choices you make and the knowledge you act on. You deserve to look in the mirror and feel proud of what you see. You deserve to feel comfortable in your skin, to feel vibrant, to feel like yourself. These oils are not magic, but they are real biology, and when you use them consistently and correctly, your body will show you what it is still capable of. If this video gave you something valuable today, please subscribe to this channel and share it with someone you care about who could benefit from this information. And leave a comment below telling me your age, what skin concern bothers you the most, and which of these oil combinations you are going to try first. I read every single comment, every one. I will see you in the next video.